Okay, so last topic was RTI done. E-governance is also done. So now new chapter, that topic will become development and development process. Okay, so this topic is there in your GS paper 2, development and development process industries. So what are those industries are there? Like for example, civil society, NGO, trust, charitable trust, of pressure groups. These things are there, or even self-help group. So they are covered together because they are considered as development process industry, correct? So it is different from manufacturing industry. This is development process industry. Clear? So first we need to understand what is the meaning of this term development, correct? So first development kya hai, and then how this is different from growth. Growth versus, for example, today also in the newspaper you have seen the front, the GST collection, correct? So GST collection is actually increased month by month basis, like last December and compared to this December, 12% GST collection is more. So we can consider it is just like a growth only. So what is the difference between growth and development? So first thing that we are going to take, you can make, for example, like this, correct, table, and here economic growth, here it is development, correct? So अगर हम देखें मोटा मोटा कि what is basically growth is considered as increase in the output, whatever the final goods and services that is produced in country, in particular territory and particular financial year. So what is the total output of financial goods and services are there, that is considered as economic growth. Basically जो GDP आप calculate करते हो, that is called as growth. So growth is nothing but we can call GDP or GNP, correct? So output of an economy. So output of an economy particularly basically measured in the growth of GDP and GNP, gross domestic product and gross national product. So that is called as economic growth. Now comes to development. So development basically क्या है कि it is a broader concept. Economic growth is a very narrow concept. So broader concept in the sense it includes growth also. Growth also should be there, correct? Growth के साथ, for example, GDP should increase, GNP should increase, correct? Manufacturing जो भी sector है, they should grow, but together with it, the standard of life also should improve, correct? Standard of life also should improve. So living standard, that should improve. Health sector, education, correct? Life expectancy. So everything should improve. Then only we can say it is a development. Environmental sustainability should improve. So abhi environment is also important part है इसका. Correct? So that is called as development. अभी क्या है? Growth के लिए basically who will work? Government. Because by bringing various policies, manufacturing policies, industrial policies, Make in India project, Digital India project, that government will bring it. And government will going to work for health, education, environment, sustained living standard also. But still there will be few areas where government is not available. जहाँ पे public officials are not able to reach there. वहाँ पे कौन work करेगा आपका? सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड एनजीओ, इसीलिए इनको बोलते हैं डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस इंडस्ट्रीज. So these are called as development process industry. This much is clear. First, next is अगर मेजरमेंट की बात करें, so this growth is measured in term of GDP और GNP. एंड डेवलपमेंट अगर आपको मेजर करना है किसी कंट्री का, कि फॉर एग्जांपल यू वांट टू कंपेयर लाइक जीडीपी ग्रोथ देगा, जीडीपी ग्रोथ इंडिया इज वन ऑफ द फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी इन द वर्ल्ड राइट नाउ, बट व्हेन वी कंपेयर इन द डेवलपमेंट टर्म्स कंपेयर टू स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज और यूरोपियन कंट्रीज, so they are more developed, so that you are going to calculate with the help of GDP per capita income. So that is one measure, GDP per capita income. Then we are not that great position, correct? Our ranking is low. Literacy rate आपका कितना है? So that also define our development. Literacy rate. correct? और भी बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं. एग्जाम्पल जो मैटरनल जो मोर्टेलिटी रेट है, MMR, IMR, करेक्ट? infant mortality rates, correct? Hunger index, global hunger index. This is also one of the most favorite index for the UPSC. Global hunger index. कई सारे हो सकते हैं, but just an example. Correct? So that is the difference between growth and development. So growth, it is very short term actually. Growth is not long term. Growth is always a short term because we always measure growth quarter to quarter basis, sometime month to month basis or year to year basis. So any economy can grow as soon as fast possible because of various policies brought by the government. But isko work करने के लिए it is going to take some time. For example, if any poor like Bihar, if Bihar को grow करना है ना, तो Bihar can grow actually even 20% state GDP, state rate से, correct? GDP उसको Bihar government. Reason is this, because like example in Madhya Pradesh, when actually this Shivraj Singh Chauhan government came earlier, I am talking about 10 years back. So उसके बाद क्या हुआ था, earlier Madhya Pradesh was not that great because Madhya Pradesh is also one of the part of Bimaru states. Bimaru states में कौन थे? Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, correct? Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Basically these states, they are considered as Bimaru states. Right now they are not Bimaru states. If for example, so Madhya Pradesh का बात करें तो Madhya Pradesh GDP was growing very fast. Reason is this, क्योंकि आपका जो base है, it was so low, correct or not? कि now if you work little bit only, your GDP will going to grow 20% per annum even, correct? So growth will be there, but whether development will grow as short term basis, no. It is a broader concept. It is a long term concept. This is a short term concept. Clear है? So this is the difference between growth and development. Clear this? Next is, so अगर हम aspect देखें development की, what is the aspect of development is the dimensions of development. So dimensions of development, if we see, one can be political development. अगर dimensions of development देखें, one can be as political development. Like example, strengthening democratic institutions. जो demographic और sorry जो democratic institutions हैं आपके, democratic institutions like example of election commission of India, अगर ये strong है तो हमें भरोसा रहेगा democracy पे, correct? So this is one thing. Another important thing, people's voting rights, if they are there तब भी होगा. Freedom of speech, it is available, then it's fine. Media rights, correct? अगर media rights हैं, then political development is there already. Correct? Rule of law is there. That is called as political development. This is one dimension of development. Clear? So we were covering basically dimensions of development. Now next is economic development. Next dimension is economic development. Economic development. So economic development we will measure based on employment generation, increase in per capita income, correct? Increase in the per capita income, quality of public service delivery, correct? Macroeconomic stability. So macroeconomic stability ऐसा ना हो कि inflation is very high, everything is running fine, but inflation is also very high. So people are not afford the goods and services. So that is also part of economic development. Clear this? Third dimensions, social development. Social development. So here in social development, basically health, education sector, social justice, correct? Put last one at first. The person who is very neglected, these persons should be actually cared first. इसको बोलते हैं put last one at first, correct? No discrimination based on RRRCSDP, आप सब लिख लो, आर्टिकल नंबर 15, 16 and 14 also, correct? RRCS ये याद है, religion, race, residence, caste, sex, descent and place of birth. This is third dimensions of development. Fourth dimension that is also became important basically after this industrial revolutions, environmental development. Fourth one is environmental development. So it first talks about sustainable development. Sustainable development, it was given by Brundtland commissions basically. अगर environment class में you must have covered, अगर नहीं हुआ है तो cover होगा. So Brundtland commission has given the definition of sustainable development, that development which is going to fulfill the need of the present generation without affecting the future generation, correct? That is known as sustainable development. Management of natural resources like land, water, environment degradation. This is very important है आपके GS पेपर 3 के लिए. Climate change. These things are very important. अभी environment has not done yet. Okay, started. So environment का सबसे बड़ा problem क्या होता है कि when you read the environment your book, so whatever you are covering in first actually 3-4 classes और जो भी आपका notes है ना, वहां से कोई question नहीं आता है. Most of the time you are busy just understand what is biodiversity, what types of biodiversity, alpha, beta and all these things. Correct? Question वहां से आता ही नहीं है. Question maximum comes, अगर आप देखो number of years से previous years से questions, and they are coming सबसे ज्यादा maximum question coming from the climate change, सबसे ज्यादा. But climate change is the last chapter. वहां तक आप पहुंचते ही नहीं हो. ठीक है. अनदर इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस रिलेटेड विद एनवायरनमेंट, वो हम कभी पढ़ते नहीं है. सेकंड मोस्ट क्वेश्चंस कमिंग फ्रॉम देयर ओनली. एंड थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट इज एनवायरनमेंट पॉल्यूशंस, वो भी हम नहीं पढ़ते कभी. करेक्ट है ना. देन कम्स योर बायोडाइवर्सिटी, जो आप पढ़ते हो, बट दैट इज द लीस्ट एक्चुअली. वहां पे क्वेश्चन मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस आर कमिंग क्लाइमेट चेंज, इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस एंड पॉल्यूशन. बायोडाइवर्सिटी में भी अगर जहां से क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं, यू आर नॉट कवरिंग दैट पार्ट. Endangered species, correct? Which of that particular species which is endangered, critically endangered and all these things. वो यहाँ पे आप रुकते नहीं है. पहले क्या होता था, earlier we used to just remember a table. Table में ये species है, ये endangered है, क्या पढ़ लिया. Now they ask questions whether that species is available in that particular national park or not. Correct? Recently if you have seen in the Hindu, अगर आप पढ़ते होगे daily, नाम दो फॉर this squirrel का नाम आया था, flying squirrel. It was in the news. पढ़े हो? So where it is actually available? So it was seen after long time in Namdapha National Park. So Namdapha National Park कहाँ है? You have to know the locations. एक चीज. Second, whether any river is crossing in that particular national park, वो important है. And which are the species which are available or endemic only to that particular national park. So endemism is also they ask questions, especially regarding Western Ghat and the northeastern areas का. तो आपको मैक्सिमम लोकेशन देखना है इसी का, वेस्टर्न घाट वाला एंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट वाला. तो ऐसा करके आपको एनवायरनमेंट पढ़ोगे देन डेफिनेटली यू कैन स्कोर देम. ठीक है. So this is the next dimension of development. So these were basically 4 dimensions of development. That's it. अब ये तो डेवलपमेंट समझ में आ गया. Now what is development process? Development क्या है कि we require good health to everyone, good education to everyone. Correct? That is development. Is good road, that is development. What is development process? Development process. Correct? Because many of the times we are not able to understand this micro topic itself. What is the meaning of development and development process industry? So development meaning already understood now. Development process क्या होता है? A series of actions that is taken to achieve the development goal. They are called as development process. Simple. Correct? So definition of development process क्या है? It refers to series of action or steps. Series of actions or steps. Series of actions or steps taken to achieve the development goals. Correct? Taken to achieve the development goals. So basically somehow it is related with policy or not. We are making policies for development only. So what steps you are going to take for development process? First is assessment of the needs. पहले हमें यही जानना है whether we require that need or not, है ना. Without need हमने ऐसी पॉलिसी बना दिया, it will fail. Last time we have discussed socially desirable होना चाहिए, political acceptable, economic viable, technical feasible होना चाहिए. ठीक है. और क्या बताया था? Judiciary deniable होना चाहिए, वो मना ना कर पाए. Correct? Then only that policy will become successful, otherwise not possible. So first assessment of the needs. Once हो गया, then policy formulation. Correct? Once it has happened, उसके बाद come implementation. And fourth, आपका मॉनिटरिंग एंड इवोल्यूशन। आपको इवेल्युएट लेना है, फीडबैक लेना है, इफेक्टिवनेस का चेक करना है, इट इज कॉल्ड डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस। एंड जब ये सब हो जाएगा देन ओनली इट विल ब्रिंग द डेवलपमेंट। क्लियर? इतना क्लियर हो गया डेवलपमेंट। अब आए डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस इंडस्ट्रीज। अब डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस इंडस्ट्रीज में सबसे पहले अगर किसी का, दैट इज सिविल सोसाइटी। सिविल सोसाइटी इज एन अम्ब्रेला टर्म है बिकॉज अंडर इट वी कैन इंक्लूड NGOs also, any pressure groups also, everyone they call civil society only. So next is civil society. First we understand what is civil society is. So civil society के लिए Hegel has given a concept. He was a German philosopher basically, Hegelian concept. He has given the concept of civil society कि everything is evolved step to step basis only, correct? जैसे for example कि first actually क्या आया? First in society में family आया, correct? Family. So family is based on basically love only, correct or not? And family is based on some personal interest only, correct? Personal interest. They don't care about any, even other families or personal interest they are having, and that is the reason it is particular altruism, correct? अल्ट्रुइज्म बेसिकली क्या है कि अपने इंटरेस्ट के लिए आप काम कर रहे हो, पर्टिकुलर मींस खुद के इंटरेस्ट के लिए, नॉट फॉर अदर्स। उसके बाद क्या होगा, आफ्टर सम टाइम दे रियलाइज कि इसका भी एक क्या है कि फ्रीडम यू विल नॉट गेट एक्चुअली इन द फैमिली। फ्रीडम आपको मिलता है फैमिली में? नहीं मिलता है, करेक्ट? सो यू विल मिस दैट फ्रीडम। Yes, today actually I was reading one news actually, one girl actually hanged. I think it is in Jayanagar only. Okay, because her father has not allowed the girl to go outside for the photography on 31st eve photo shoot ke liye, because she was a photography enthusiast actually. He was learning a course also, तो उसको लगा कि this is 31st December is a moment that I can capture a lot of photos Instagram में डालने के लिए, correct? But father has not allowed, and father was also not ऐसा wrong actually यहाँ पे, because we have seen lot of hooliganism used to happen on the road, and so she actually went inside and hanged to the death only, ceiling fan, correct? सीलिंग फैन का प्रॉब्लम आ गया, ठीक है? सो दिस इज फ्रीडम इज नॉट देयर, करेक्ट? फ्रीडम, सो फ्रीडम वाज मिसिंग। देन क्या हुआ कि कुछ लोग फैमिली से बाहर आ गए, कि हम बाहर आते हैं एंड वी आर गोइंग टू मेक अवर ओन क्लब, करेक्ट? जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मेट्रोपॉलिटन क्लब, कॉस्मोपॉलिटन क्लब जैसा कुछ बना लिया, करेक्ट? सो दैट इज सेकंड थिंग दैट कम्स इन सोसाइटी, इट वाज सिविल सोसाइटी ओनली, करेक्ट? Civil society. Now they are not working for everyone's interest. Again, civil society is not working for everyone's interest कि सबका भला चाहते नहीं. They are also working for few members actually interest, but not his or her own interest, but few members. And these members can belong to different caste, different religion, different backgrounds, but उनका somehow interest is going to match. So they actually work based on particular egoism. करेक्ट? इसके बाद इनको यहाँ पे भी लगेगा कि बिकॉज यहाँ पे भी दे हैव सेट अप सम रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, करेक्ट? बिकॉज सिविल सोसाइटी है, विदाउट रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस दे आल्सो कैन नॉट वर्क. दे आल्सो विल बी हैविंग इट्स ओन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस, इट्स ओन वे ऑफ वर्किंग, सम डू एंड डू नॉट गाइडलाइंस. लेकिन उसमें का कुछ लोग होंगे जो गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो नहीं करेंगे, कुछ वहां पे मंगल पांडे बने होंगे, ठीक है? तो फिर क्या हमको चाहिए कि समवन शुड बी देयर ना, सो दे शुड एक्चुअली लॉफुल्ली बोले कि आपको फॉलो करना ही है दीज रूल्स. देन कम्स स्टेट. थर्ड इज स्टेट विल कम. अभी क्या, स्टेट विल गोइंग टू मेक रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस. नाउ इफ यू आर नॉट फॉलोइंग then definitely consequences are there. So that is how actually society evolve, actually family, civil society and the state. But the state is working in form of universal altruism, क्योंकि वो सबका भला चाहता है स्टेट, करेक्ट? समटाइम्स हम बोलते हैं स्टेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट थ्योरी, स्टेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट थ्योरी एक और one theory is there, state contract theory, how the state actually evolved. See, everyone was free, just like a jungle, survival of the fittest policy was there in jungle time, correct? So उनको लगा कि everyone's actually running on survival of the fittest, correct or not? If one day everyone will not be fit and then they will not survive, तो वो लोग पास में आए, उन्होंने बोला कि whatever the freedom right now we are having, कि जो भी हमारे मन में we can do it, we need to leave those some freedoms, and then they have organized, okay, one community time. I am giving you this freedom, leaving this freedom, and now you have to protect us, correct? जैसे अभी क्या है कि I can go anywhere, okay, I can drive anywhere, सब जगह ऐसा फ्री कर दो ना, तो definitely accidents will be there then, correct? So यहाँ पे क्या कर दिया कि states will come, state बोलेगा ठीक है, you are going to leave some of your fundamental rights, then it is my duty to protect you. That is how contract we have signed. The contract में हम नहीं बोल देगा I am going to leave some of my fundamental rights, you have to protect me. So one contract has been happened, and that contract is state contract theory. That is how state actually emerge. ठीक है? So now we understood कि civil society comes in between family and state. अगर हम World Bank की if we see what definition of World Bank, so World Bank definition क्या है कि civil society is nothing but what is not family and what is not state, it is called as civil society. Simple. So for example, IMF, World Bank, PETA, all are considered as then civil society. This much is clear. अभी क्या हुआ? Next is done this. Now, earlier क्या था? I told you कि state was not involved much in the development of the people. उसमें we were running based on, we can call that classical imperialism. Correct? Complete classical imperialism in the sense they are not interfering, states are not interfering completely. और इसमें बोलते हैं कि everything is done by market only, everything is done by market. This is how we are running, everything is run by the market. अभी क्या हुआ था? There was World War I. World War I के World War I में who was involved? European countries. USA was not involved that much actually in World War I. So who was involved? This only, correct? European countries. A lot of destructions happened in the European countries. They need to be constructed now. Now defense जो होगी, because ultimately defense is provided by USA at that time also. So many of the industries of जो USA में work कर रही थी, they got lot of contract from the European countries for supply of arms. इससे क्या होगा? USA economy will going to become boom or not? So USA economy को boom मिल गया अभी. See, अभी see state is not involved at all. सब कौन कर रहा है? Private only private. Lot of export start happening to the European countries. Correct? अभी क्या हुआ था कि earlier these European countries they were exporting lot of materials to their colonial states also. Since their own economy is completely in bad conditions, they are not able to produce that much. So who is going to export now? USA. USA को फिर से फायदा हो गया. तो see USA को World War I में पूरा फायदा हुआ था. Correct? So जब फायदा हुआ, economy was booming. अब economy was booming ना, तो now this industries they need to actually produce more. So they start taking loan from the bank. बैंक ने लोन दे दिया. So again they are producing more. So ultimately क्या होगा? Most of the economy is running very fast. आज जो लोग हैं, लोगों को rich बनना है, everyone want to become Warren Buffett. Then they start putting money also in stock market. बैंक भी market में पैसा रखने लगा. See, bank is not allowed actually. Bank is not allowed to enter into the stock market. कभी सुना कि HDFC बैंक ने पूरा डिपॉजिट का पैसा purchase some stocks? No, that is not allowed. Correct or not? But वहाँ पे bank also start doing this because state was still not involved. State क्या था कि आपको जो मर्जी वो करो. So बैंक भी कर रहा था and लोग भी. अब जो stock price होंगे, they will start rising or not? They will start rising. और ऐसा एक moment आया कि for example if you come like 1926 तक कि stock price actually they becomes 10-fold even. So everyone was actually becoming rich at that moment. तो उसमें क्या होगा? जो गरीब था, कोई था, everyone start putting money. But after some time, World War I finish हो गया, Europe already well now. So now there is no need of any export from the USA. So धीरे धीरे इकोनॉमी स्टार्ट स्टेबलाइजिंग और नॉट, बट स्टॉक मार्केट तो बढ़ रहा है ना. आफ्टर सम टाइम क्या होगा, बैलेंस शीट विल बी गोइंग टू बी रिलीज, रिजल्ट डेट विल कम. अब रिजल्ट में सेल्स विल कम. अब अर्लियर सेल्स वर मोर, नाउ सेल्स आर लेस. अब रिपोर्ट आ जाएगी कि जो सेल्स ग्रोथ था इट वाज -40%, -100%. अब कुछ जो अच्छे लोग, मतलब जो जिनको थोड़ा ज्ञान होगा, दे विल स्टार्ट रिमूविंग मनी फ्रॉम द स्टॉक मार्केट. अब प्राइस नीचे आना शुरू हो गया. इट इज जस्ट बेस्ड ऑन बेसिकली क्या है कि इमोशंस ओनली. अब एवरीवन स्टार्ट taking the money out. Ab those companies think they have taken loan from the bank. Ab since now growth start reducing, they are not getting that much of profit, so they are not able to pay the money also for to the bank, the loan. When they are not able to return the loan, तो बैंक वाले भी अपना बैलेंस शीट रिलीज करेंगे कि दिस मच बिकम एनपीए. अब जो हम जैसे लोग होंगे जिन्होंने सेविंग अकाउंट ओपन कर रखा, वी विल थिंक ओ आई नीड टू सेव आवर ओन मनी एटलीस्ट, सो वी विल गो टू द बैंक. बैंक के पास पैसा नहीं, बहुत बैंक also put money where stock market. So when bank has put 100 rupees, now that rupee became 10 rupees. For example, General Motors and others. So USA Steel price was $250 for example, and aate for example in 1926 it became 25 rupees only. 90% erosions happened. Up so 90% erosions मतलब बैंक ने जो deposit money they have put, that is also gone down now. When I went to the bank branch for collection of my own money, bank has said no, money is not available. I will call to all my relatives also. अब they will go their own branch. उन्होंने मना कर दिया. एक डिसीज जैसा फैल जाए, कोरोना टाइप contagious disease, correct or not? So ultimately what will happen is economy is going to collapse. That is what happened in Great Depression. यही था Great Depression. समझ में आ गया? So this happened basically in 1929 तक आते आते, स्पेशली अक्टूबर 1929 में जो स्टॉक मार्केट था कंप्लीटली फॉलन कंप्लीटली. सो अभी इकोनॉमी वेंट टू रिसेशन. उसमें फॉर एग्जांपल जो प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूएसए, अभी भी देखो स्टेट इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व. अभी जो प्रेसिडेंट थे हूवर, अभी क्या कि अभी जब रिसेशन हो गया, अभी क्या हुआ कि बिकॉज नाउ नो नथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी प्रोड्यूस्ड, इन्फ्लेशन इज आल्सो वेरी हाई. एंड फॉर एग्जांपल आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हाट हैपेंड कि जो प्राइसेस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट थे दे वर वेरी हाई इन यूएसए, but they were very less in other market, like for example China. So China was exporting products to the USA. अब जो USA का बंदा है, why they need to purchase, because they are not having money even right now. Whatever the money was, they are already eroded. So they start purchasing the products, that is exported products only. अब जो प्रेसिडेंट हूवर थे, हूवर उस समय 31st प्रेसिडेंट USA, हूवर has imposed this ban. क्या हुआ कि import duty has been increased. So whatever product is coming from the other countries, उसका भी प्राइस ऊपर हो गया. अब लोगों को और प्रॉब्लम हो गया. Now they are not able to purchase that also and this also. अब इसमें क्या हो, जो अदर कंट्रीज है ना, they will not feel happy. So अभी जो USA was exporting any materials, so they also have put some, उन्होंने भी क्या किया, they have put basically क्या कर दिया, import duty on that product also. So now USA is also not able to export also. Again earning is reduced or not, वहां से earning reduce हो गया. अभी क्या हुआ कि because of these things USA recession से went into डिप्रेशन. ना दिस इज हाउ डिप्रेशन हैपेंड कि एक्सपोर्ट भी बंद हो गया एंड जो हम घर के कंट्री में दे आर नॉट एबल टू परचेजिंग एनीथिंग. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस हूवर्स पॉलिसी द यूएसए वेंट इनटू डिप्रेशन. नाउ फिर आए रूजवेल्ट, 32nd प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूएसए. उनको लगा बिकॉज फर्स्ट व्हाट वी नीड टू डू इज दे हैव सेड फर्स्ट वी नीड टू रिफॉर्म, रिलीफ एंड रिकवरी. 3R फार्मूला ही हैज गिवन एक्चुअली. फर्स्ट रिकवरी, रिलीफ एंड रिफॉर्म, ये करना है हमको, करेक्ट. उसके लिए फर्स्ट क्या है कि पीपल हैव कंप्लीटली लॉस्ट ट्रस्ट इन द बैंकिंग सिस्टम. तो वो हमको ट्रस्ट जगाना है फर्स्ट, क्योंकि लोगों के पास पैसा अभी भी है, पीपल कैन पुट मनी इन द बैंक बट दे आर नॉट हैविंग ट्रस्ट. तो फर्स्ट ही हैज डन इज कि ही हैज ओपनड वन एजेंसी जिसको बोलते हैं फेडरल डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस कंपनी. अपने यहाँ पे भी एक है डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस एंड क्रेडिट सिक्योरिटी स्कीम इज देयर, जहाँ पे whatever the money you have deposited in the bank, so आपको जो पैसा है like up to 5 lakh rupees it will be saved, because if no money is government is or bank is able to return it, then government will give pay back that money to you, because आपके जो money है उस पे they have taken the insurance. Indian government is also having, RBI has done it, but उस समय these things were not there. So first he has done it, one agency has been opened for the insurance purpose. With whatever the money depositor has given, that money need to be insured first. जब ये इंश्योरेंस मिल गया, नाउ पीपल स्टार्ट पुटिंग मनी इनटू द बैंक। देखो स्टेट इन्वॉल्व हुआ पहली बार, अभी स्टेट बिल्कुल इन्वॉल्व नहीं था। फर्स्ट अपने यहाँ मार्केट रेगुलेटर स्टॉक मार्केट में से भी उनके यहाँ उस समय कुछ नहीं था, अपने यहाँ पे भी पहले नहीं था। वी आल्सो रिसीव्ड ओनली 1991 ओनली आफ्टर दैट, सो दे आर नॉट हैविंग इवन स्टॉक मार्केट रेगुलेटर। देन एक्चुअली स्टेट जो स्टॉक मार्केट रेगुलेटर है दैट एक्चुअली एस्टैब्लिश्ड हियर। सो सेकंड थिंग ही हैज डन इट सो दैट कि ऐसा ना हो कि ऐसी अनटुवर्ड इंसिडेंट्स यूज्ड टू हैपन इन स्टॉक मार्केट। सो सेकंड थिंग दिस हैपेंड एंड देन एक डील की गई जिसको बोलते हैं न्यू डील। रूजवेल्ट हैज डन ए न्यू डील। न्यू डील में ये हुआ कि वी नीड टू सर्च दोज गाइज व्हिच आर नॉट हैविंग एनी मनी एट ऑल, दे नीड टू गिव इन सम वर्क, मनरेगा। सो मनरेगा वाज स्टार्टेड देयर फॉर एग्जांपल, करेक्ट। अब जब लोगों के हाथ में पैसा जाएगा ना, नाउ दे स्टार्ट परचेजिंग समथिंग और नॉट। जब परचेज करेंगे ना देन ओनली समवन इज गोइंग टू प्रोड्यूस और नॉट। जब प्रोड्यूस करेंगे ना, करेक्ट और नॉट, तो फिर से कुछ लोग वहां पे एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन होगा, so they will get money in the form of salary. Now these guys again going to purchase, more requirement will happen or not, more employment will happen. इससे क्या होगा, जो इकोनॉमी है रिसेशन से ऊपर उठ के आएगी, करेक्ट और नॉट। सो फर्स्ट टाइम एक्चुअली state start interfering here and that is how actually came the welfare state. welfare state अभी पता चला वेलफेयर स्टेट कंसेप्ट कहां से आया, बिफोर दैट नथिंग वाज देयर। सो अभी ये हुआ कि मार्केट जो है ना, मार्केट कैन नॉट डू एवरीथिंग, स्टेट शुड बी देयर टू रेगुलेट देम। सो रेगुलेटर एजेंसीज दे वर एस्टैब्लिश्ड बाय रूजवेल्ट। सो ही एक्चुअली सेव्ड basically USA, or he has not saved basically another World War II also came. So फिर से वही बूम वाला कहानी आ गया, क्योंकि वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 में फायदा हुआ, यूएसए वाज वेटिंग फॉर वर्ल्ड वॉर 2, वर्ल्ड वॉर 3 हो नहीं पा रहा है, दे आर वेटिंग फॉर दैट, करेक्ट। तो वेलफेयर स्टेट आ गया। उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि जब स्टेट आल्सो इन्वॉल्व ना हो, अब स्टेट बिकम टू मच इन्वॉल्व। So जब too much involved हो गया, again state is not having that much of capacity to deliver everything actually. Okay, state is not able to deliver everything, so then again liberalism will come, correct? Liberalism in the sense the state is very liberal, whatever you want you can do it, that's it. I am there just to see and watch out, that's it, correct? So उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि market again will going to fail. Okay, East Asian जो countries थे, crisis happened there then, and then came neoliberalism. So neoliberalism is nothing but liberalism only, but state is more involved now. Market is there, but state is going to work abhi in this. State is going to work as a regulator, as a facilitator, correct? As a regulator and as a facilitator under neoliberalism. Because this liberalism is nothing but liberalization. LPG reform हुआ था ना, liberalization, privatizations, globalization, same this is. And then सबको पता चला कि इसी state is also working, फिर भी मजा नहीं आया था, market was working, फिर भी मजा नहीं आया, state and market both are working, फिर भी मजा नहीं, कुछ तो मिस है। तो मिस है, उन्होंने कहा फिर सिलेबस बढ़ाया जाए, तो सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन comes now, right? They also started working. करेक्ट है, यहीं से आपका गवर्नेंस कंसेप्ट केम ऑलमोस्ट। सो गवर्नेंस में क्या था आपका, स्टेट, मार्केट एंड सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस। So now you are able to link this with the governance. Isliye, for example, if you see in your syllabus, so which part has been given first? Important aspects of governance or development and development process? Development process first they have given, and then important aspect they have given. But I have covered just opposite, because so that you can understand governance first. Correct? So development process, because first you need to understand this, then together will be the governance only. Clear this? So civil society came into picture. Civil society basically क्यों आया? Because state का एक problem है. Okay? State cannot give all the solutions. If we see problems of the state का problem क्या? For example, capitalization issue. State cannot provide all the fund needed for the development of any country. Correct? So main one problem state is having over capitalization. These are the issues state is having. The state cannot provide all the funds needed for the development of any country. Correct? Another problem state is having good politics and bad economics. Sometimes a state need to take such decisions which are very good politically, because they can win the election also, but they're bad economically. इसलिए स्टेट पे we cannot rely always. एक स्टेट अगर ये बोल दे कि एवरीवन्स जो लोन है सबका, एजुकेशन लोन, कार लोन, होम लोन सब माफ हो गया है ना, people will going to give vote to that guy only. But economically everyone is understand it is a disaster. जो भी loan waiver schemes थी, every time they are not that successful. Reason is this कि if you do such loan waiver schemes, if I also have taken the loan, I will not going to repay the loan now, because हमें ये पता है कि after some time again अगर इन्होंने loan waive कर दिया then, correct, तो हमें बुरा लगेगा ना, पड़ोसी का loan waive हो गया हमारा नहीं हुआ, so why should I pay on time? So many of the individuals who can pay the loan on time, they were not paying because of that condition कि election is going to come and some of the political parties they are going to announce such things. So this was the reason. So that is the reason is good politics and bad economics. So इसलिए state is not good for economic development. अगर state is doing everything, then it can become a nanny state. Nanny state simply क्या है? एक होता है welfare state. Welfare state में state will going to take care of some of the important aspect like health and education, road infrastructure, all these things. But state is doing everything. Like example, like we have seen in Karnataka government, they have given those who have cleared the degree 4 years course, they will get 3,000 rupees per month. Diploma वाला 1,500 rupees per month. अगर सोचो कोई और गवर्नमेंट है बोले कि those who are going to clear degree वाला, they will get actually 8,000 rupees. ऐसा बोलते हैं 8,000 rupees per month. अब that guy will going to search job anytime now. नहीं, अब सोचो वो फर्स्ट मंथ 8,000 आ गया, नेक्स्ट मंथ अगेन 8,000 आ गया, 3,000 ऐसा आ गया. उसके बाद क्या होगा ना कि पेरेंट्स आर ऑल्सो नॉट गोइंग टू फोर्स द गाय. वही बोलेगा 8,000 आ तो रहे हैं, हम आपका थोड़ी खा रहे हैं. करेक्ट? सो अल्टीमेटली इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क देन, है ना. और फिर क्या होगा कि ही इज हैविंग दिस फियर ऑफ लॉस दैट 8,000 इफ ही गॉट द जॉब इवन वंस. उसको ये आइडिया नहीं कि इफ आई गॉट द जॉब then again if I am removed from that job, again I will not get that 8,000 rupees. In the fear of that, he is again not joining. Correct? Again, this scheme is limited only for 1 year, but who knows, they again extend to next year. Correct? इससे क्या होगा कि now everyone is relying on that only. So who will pay the income tax? कोई भी नहीं. और वही अगर 8,000 rupees से उसका salary अगर for he is working in government or MNC or any other private company, if he is going to minimum 25,000 rupees, then he is going to spend all the 25,000 rupees. Indirect tax collection will improve or not? यहाँ पे he is having just 8,000 rupees, indirect tax collection also will be less. Direct tax की तो बात ही नहीं हो रही है. So ultimately government का जो revenue है, it will going to reduce or increase. Reduce. अब जो reduce हो गया है ना, government is giving 8,000 rupees from where? From tax only collections. Now tax collection will reduce after 10 years. Whether government will be left with any money? No. Then they need to borrow the money from outside. अब borrow money करोगे, then how you are going to pay back the money? Present generation will enjoy, but future generation need to pay that. Correct? Then next one government will come, that is reformist government. They are going to increase the tax, everything. अब tax increase करके who is going to pay the tax? Childs. और enjoy किसने किया? Father ने. Correct? यही तो हो रहा है ना. So ये चीज है nanny state. So nanny state is not a good state actually at all. Next problem state का क्या है? Corruption. आप कितना भी कोशिश कर लो, they will not able to work efficiently. Correct? Corruption always will be there, no matter whatever the agencies you are going to run up, no matter how you enforce the law, but still corruption will be there. Correct? So corruption रहेगा, then definitely क्या corruption से क्या problem होता है कि tax collection will reduce. Corruption है, for example, I need to pay like 10 lakh rupees as the tax, but I have some actually contact with the income tax officer. उनको बोलेंगे I will give you 1 lakh rupees, you settle my income tax. They will settle it. So who is going to lose? Government only 9 lakh rupees. तो corruption से घाटा हो गया. Another important corruption से क्या होगा? For example, I need to invest some money in one particular part of the country. So I am investing like 100 crore rupees as an investment. But environmental clearance, that clearance, उस clearance के लिए again I need to pay some money as a bribe. Extra tax will be on me or not? इससे better I will go into that place जहाँ पे I need not to pay that things. तो इसलिए corruption is one of the reasons. Next important problem is state का, it is rule driven bureaucracy. Rule driven bureaucracy. They always prefer the rules. So rules are made for the betterment of human only, but now humans are made for the rules. Correct? You have to follow the rules. Okay, bureaucracy में कहावत होती है कि you show me the man, I will show you the rule. Correct? अब कुछ भी काम लेके आओ, मेरे पास रूल है to oppose it. So this is rule driven bureaucracy. For example, if you see, we are not able to build a local road actually. We are not able to build the local road. Correct? Like जैसे आपके घर के आसपास रोड है जो PWD के अंदर आ रहा है या BBMP के अंदर आ रहा है, we are not able to build, but we are able to build actually airports within 1 year, 2 years, like Ayodhya, like Tiruchirappalli recently. Correct? 1100 crore rupees project is there. They are able to build that airport, but एक single road नहीं बन रही हमसे. ऐसा किस लिए हो रहा है? Because both projects हैं, they are sanctioned by higher authority only, and they are actually controlled by PMO mostly. So no bureaucracy is able to oppose them. Correct or not? Same for the whatever the development in Ayodhya happened, it is directly under the watch of PMO only. Prime Minister Secretary is there, Principal Secretary is there. Correct? So they are taking off everything. अब उसके सामने कौन मना करेगा? Correct? Like PK Misra is there always. So PK Misra को कौन bureaucrat है इंडिया में जो मना कर पाएगा? Not possible. मना करोगे वो तुम्हें हटा देगा. That's it. उसको कितना टाइम लगेगा? Within 1 second. That's it. खत्म. Correct? So that is the way they are able to, because they are not following that much of rules. They are just following the work. Work should be done. But फिर भी हम जानते हैं कि most of the bureaucracy is work based on rules. अब they are able to do because they are directly connected with the prime minister only. अगर वो prime minister से connect नहीं होते, then they also will not be able to do all these work. Correct? So this is one of the problem is कि we cannot rely on state always. So then will come market, because इनका जो answer it will be in the market only. So second is market. अब market का भी some issue है. So what is the issue we are facing in market? Market is based on profit driven. अगर profit is available in those areas only, market will work. So market will going to build only big infrastructures only, like airports, like big highways, port, but they will not work in village areas, like Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. वहाँ पे they are not going to build because they are not having any profit. So market will not be available in those areas which is not giving any profit. Other problem with market is कि they offer service and user pay principle. Correct? Market offer service in user pay principle basis. correct? They offer service on a user pay principal basis, correct? If user is able to pay, then only market will provide you the service. If you're not able to pay, then market will not provide you the service. Clear? So market का issue ये है. If many of the groups are there, many of the poor peoples are there, they are not able to provide that user fees. So they will not include it into that facility. Another important is market is inclusionary in nature or exclusionary in nature? Exclusionary in nature, correct? So market is exclusionary in nature. And markets will going to promote only merit goods. जहां पे उनको फायदा हो. If they are not getting profit, then they are not going to encourage those goods. Correct? अब उनको सिगरेट भी मेरिट गुड लगता है क्योंकि सिगरेट में दे आर गेटिंग सम मनी, इवन दैट मच ऑफ टैक्स वी आर हैविंग ऑन दैट. सो सिगरेट में दोनों को फायदा होता है, स्टेट को भी एंड मार्केट को भी. ओनली यूजर को फायदा नहीं. दिस इज द ओनली सर्विस. अगर किसी सर्विस में देखें व्हेन यूजर इज अनहैप्पी then he is not going to buy that product, but this is the only service में user is unhappy, still they are keep buying the service. Correct? Tool दिखना है ना. So that is problem. ठीक है? Now comes to next solution will come then civil society. Civil society. So civil society is considered as sometimes fifth state, third sector. Third sector in the sense the state, market and third sector. So it is a third sector. After state, after market. Fifth state इनको बोलते हैं. We call them fifth state. Fifth state, basic fifth organs be सकते हो. 3 organs already we have here. Okay. Then media will also be there. And then this. And civil society, basically they work outside the space. They work outside the space of state and market. So they're working outside the space of correct. So they are not working together with the state, together with market. They are working in that area जहाँ पे state is also unavailable and market is also unavailable. So in that space they are working. So what is civil society is? So civil society basically people organizing themselves outside, correct? Outside state and market. State and market. Based on voluntary in nature. Collective interest है आपका. Correct? And autonomous from state and market. Correct? This is simple definition of civil society. So civil society is nothing but people organizing themselves outside state and market based on voluntary principles, collective interest principles, and third is autonomous from the state and market. क्लियर? तो सिविल सोसाइटी इज व्हाट? आउटसाइड, दैट मीन्स जब आपका गवर्नमेंट जॉब ना हो, जब आप किसी प्राइवेट सेक्टर में आर नॉट डूइंग एनी ड्यूटी, तभी तो आप कोई प्लांट करने जाओगे, कोई अगर ट्री वगैरह प्लांट करना है, एक्टिविस्ट बनना है, देन ओनली विल बिकम द एक्टिविस्ट। ठीक है, आपने देखो जितने भी एक्टिविस्ट है ना, दे आर जॉबलेस। ठीक है ना? अगर आप फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू वांट टू, बिकॉज इंडिया में कल्चर नहीं है ऐसा, ऐसा नहीं, अदर कंट्री में पीपल्स दे आर डूइंग जॉब, करेक्ट, एंड दे आर सिविल सर्विस एक्टिविस्ट आल्सो टुगेदर। इंडिया में ऐसा कंसेप्ट नहीं है। इंडिया में फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू वांट टू बिकम सिविल सर्विस, आपके पापा बोलेंगे पहले काम तो कर लो, खुद का घर नहीं चल रहा है दूसरों को चलाने चले हो ना। ठीक है, तो ये चीज एक प्रॉब्लम है इंडिया में। और जो सिविल सर्विस एक्टिविस्ट है ना इंडिया, जैसे अदर कंट्री में इफ यू गो, देन उनका एक प्रोग्राम होता है सेट कि एवरी संडे एवरी सैटरडे दे विल गो, और सम टाइम व्हेनेवर दे आर गेटिंग टाइम दे विल वर्क ओवर देयर। अपने यहाँ क्या होता है कंसेप्ट कि हमको चलो इंस्टाग्राम में फोटो डालने के लिए करना है ना, so that every other person should say, oh, this guy is care for environment. आपने वो पेड़ लगा के लिए कंपनी वगैरह होता है ना, they used to plant the trees, अब दोबारा वो पेड़ देखने हैं कि वो है या नहीं, अब उस एरिया में तक नहीं गए, करेक्ट? You want to plant a tree, have to get after every 7 days 10 days to look after the tree also whether it is there or not. अब लगा के गए, कोई लेके चला गया, ठीक है? So that is the case in India is. So this is perfect definition for Indian society except. इतना क्लियर हुआ? So again, here I'm not degrading civil society. Everyone need to involve, but we are not able to involve. Reason is this: we are not able to complete our basic things first. घर में basic things ही नहीं है अपने, सबकी जरूरतें हैं, like your father, your mother, everything have some necessity. So they want you to do some work. इसलिए मैं बोलता हूँ कि इंडिया में अगर आइंस्टाइन किसी को पैदा होना है, मतलब some big innovation, that innovation will not come from the poor guy. Innovation will come only from those guys or those children who are taking birth in very big families. Like example, Ambani, Adani. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम है कि इनके बच्चे भी बिजनेस में लग जाते हैं. Only these guys can change the India or change anything because they have no worry about the money. They can whatever the countless experiment they can do, countless things they can do. They can bring real innovation actually. But problem India में culture का है कि they also start working in that business only. अभी फॉर एग्जाम्पल जितने भी आप आइंस्टाइन का नाम ले लो, एडिसन का नाम ले लो, एवरीवन दे आर बिलोंग टू द वेरी रिच फैमिली, दे आर नॉट फ्रॉम द पुअर. गरीब बच्चा क्या सोचेगा पहले, घर में मतलब क्या करना है कि खरीदना है, कार खरीदना है, घर खरीदना है, करेक्ट, नेसेसरी अदर थिंग्स खरीदना है, फिर उसको एक लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट बनाना है कि अपने पेरेंट्स को फर्स्ट टाइम एयरप्लेन पे बिठाया, ठीक है, ये सारी चीजें करना है कि नहीं. सो इसमें ही इज नॉट एबल टू थिंक अबाउट एनी इनोवेशन, ही ऑलवेज कीप थिंकिंग ऑफ द मनी ओनली. How double the money, triple the money, that's it. Startup खोलना है, क्या करना है, just to earn the money. Startup goal is what? To earn the money, that's it. बड़ा startup बनाया, burn the cash of the investors, then launch the IPO, then come outside, retailers को सब दे दिया, correct? So they cannot bring innovation. Innovation will come only from rich family. But India में क्या है कि we always target rich family. अगर कोई rich बन गया है तो वो बंदा गलत है ना? सही तो हो ही नहीं सकता है वो. करेक्ट, दिस इज द ओनली कंट्री जहां पे फॉर एग्जांपल मोस्ट ऑफ द गाइस, लाइक एग्जांपल जो भी प्रोटेस्ट होते हैं लाइक जेएनयू में, इवन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, अपोजिशन पार्टीज, रूलिंग पार्टी, एवरीवन आई एम टेकिंग द नेम, सो दे टारगेट मोस्ट ऑफ द ड्यूरिंग इलेक्शंस whom? Ambani and Adani. See, they should target, like example, to whom corruption is there, bureaucrats are not working, IAS are not working, civil servants are not working, उनको टारगेट करना है ना. टारगेट किसको कर दिया? अदानी एंड अंबानी को, ठीक है. अब वो जानबूझ के करप्शन किए क्या? नहीं ना, तुम करवाए हो ना, देन ओनली दे आर डूइंग इट. अगर एवरीथिंग इज डूइंग परफेक्ट, दे शुड नॉट पे एनी मनी, करेक्ट. बट इसका मतलब करप्शन कौन करवा रहा है? ब्यूरोक्रेसी ओनली, सिविल सर्वेंट्स ओनली, पॉलिटिशियंस ओनली. सो यू हैव टू टारगेट योरसेल्फ फर्स्ट ना, बट दे टारगेट देम ओनली. देन फिर क्या होगा? फॉर एग्जांपल जो मदर फादर, जो न्यू पेरेंट्स, दे विल ऑलवेज वांट टू सी देयर चाइल्ड, दे नेवर ड्रीम कि मेरा बच्चा बड़ा होकर अंबानी अदानी बने, मेरा बच्चा बड़ा कलेक्टर बने. सबको कलेक्टर बनना है ना, लेकिन नो वन इज टारगेटिंग देम. एंड कलेक्टर इज सच थिंग इज देयर कि वन डे में यू विल बिकम रैग टू रिचेस स्टोरी. लाइक 12th फेल मूवी इज कमिंग, आई थिंक आया, देखा होगा, देख लो, अच्छा मूवी है. तो क्या वही स्टोरी तो है, कि रिजल्ट से पहले आप कुछ नहीं हो, कुछ भी नहीं है. Once results came, your name in the PDF ना, next day you are God for everyone. इतना जल्दी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन किसी और लाइफ में नहीं है, सीरियसली. नॉट इवन इन बिजनेस. बिजनेस में भी क्या, यू हैव टू गिव एटलीस्ट 10 to 20 years of life, then only definitely your business will going to run smoothly, correct? Then only you will, and business maybe once you have to earn at least 10 to 15 to 20 crore rupees, and then you have to purchase BMW, Audi, everything. तो सो भी तो करना है ना, because people will not have direct access to your account. सबको चीजें खरीदनी है, then only they will understand, हाँ this guy has something only, वो भी बड़ा नहीं. But once you clear the UPSC exam, even your rank is lowest 700, still they think, oh ये तो IAS ही बन गया अभी, चाहे आपको मिल रहा है कोई और सर्विस. So that is the reason this job becomes more lucrative job compared to any other. और तो कोई रीजन नहीं है ना, ठीक है. Even those मतलब parents, they are having business, they also want to see their children as an IAS, correct? Come back. So this is the problem in India. People organizing themselves around the, outside the state and market. Next is one more thing. Civil society, basically it is not an unorganized social life. ऐसा नहीं कि it is not it is unorganized, it is organized social life. So one or more line you can write. Civil society is organized social life. It is not society in general. जो हम लोग समझते हैं सोसाइटी, करेक्ट? फैमिली से बढ़ के 3-4 families together, they are making a society. Okay, so that is not civil society. They are character of civil society. Mostly they are voluntary in nature. Nobody is going to force you. Largely self actually supporting. Largely self-supporting. That means they are not dependent for fund, okay, from the government or from the market. And they are autonomous. Autonomous means they are not controlled by the state. They are bound by shared values. Some shared values are there, like to take care of environment, to take care of older citizens, to take care of orphan children. So this is basically citizens acting collectively. In public sphere. Right? Citizens acting collectively in public sphere. For what purpose? To express the interest, ideas, to achieve goals. To achieve goals means collective goals, basically to achieve the collective goals. And this civil society, that does not seek to acquire the formal power. What does it mean by this? They does not seek to acquire the formal power. It simply means they do not want to go for the election. They also want, because they are working for the public only. If unko lagega, why should I not join directly the state? So we also should go for the election. For example, India against corruption. ड्यूरिंग अन्ना हजारे मूवमेंट लेड बाय अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड अन्ना हजारे, करेक्ट। उसमें ये क्या था, एक सिविल सोसाइटी था ओनली, बट वंस अरविंद केजरीवाल डिसाइडेड टू प्लंज इनटू द पॉलिटिक्स, इट इज नो मोर ए सिविल सोसाइटी देन। Hear this. Now different types of civil societies we are having, types of civil societies. एक होता है ट्रेडिशनल एसोसिएशंस, traditional associations. First type, traditional means which are based on caste, based on religion, like Vishnoi Samaj, Gauda Samaj. That is traditional societies based on caste, based on religion, ethnicity, language. Correct? So traditional societies, they are based on caste, religions, language, ethnicity. Some are representative associations. Representative associations. Well, they are representing some groups. Example, trade, farmers, students. So student unions, Kisan union, trade union, just representing some group. Third type will come interest and pressure groups. Interest, for example, self-help group. I told you civil society is an umbrella term. Pressure group, NGOs, all will come under it only. थर्ड की बात अभी philanthropic group, of those who are working for the betterment of others, like example RK mission, example, correct. Even autocracy group, कुछ आपके रहेंगे autocracy group, like example पीटा, जो दिवाली होली को पोस्ट डालते हैं फिर गाली खाते हैं, उनका इंप्रेशन बढ़ता है, करेक्ट, देन दे विल गेट मनी फ्रॉम द ट्विटर. अदर हो जाएगा फॉर एग्जाम्पल सोशियो कल्चरल एसोसिएशन, सोशियो कल्चरल एसोसिएशन लाइक वेरियस स्पोर्ट्स क्लब. Next is professional association, like Indian medical associations, एडवोकेट लोगों का जो एसोसिएशन होता है, बार काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया भी लगा सकते हो, डॉक्टर्स का एसोसिएशन, इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन, करेक्ट. एक होता है जिसमें एवरीवन इज इन्वॉल्व, एवरीवन मतलब सब आ गए उसमें, तो उसको बोल सकते हैं डिफ्यूज सोशल एसोसिएशंस, करेक्ट. डिफ्यूज सोशल मूवमेंट, जिसमें एवरीवन इज इन्वॉल्व, एवरीवन, they are not based on caste, religions or any interest particular, कुछ नहीं, सब उसमें है. like example earlier India against corruption, सब involved, everyone. Then now what is the significance of civil society? The क्या importance है? Significance of civil society. Significance of a vibrant civil society. So first important way they will going to ask questions to the government. So they will actually complement, supplement, questions, confront state as well as market both. This is the first important role they are having. You can write. They will supplement, complement, questions, confronts, substitute, state and market. State and market both. State and market. Supplement means जहां पे नहीं है state and market, they will work over there. Sometimes the state is not working properly for the people of India. They are going to do protest rallies like Kisan Union we have seen. Other important is they promote and advocate social change. Next important work they do it. They promote, they advocate and promote the social change. They advocate and promote the social change like anti-sati pratha, education to the girls. They are done by civil societies only. They advocate and promote the social change. Next thing they do is they play proactive role. They play proactive role in defending civil liberties. They play proactive role in defending civil liberties. Like example, कौन करता है? Like HR Watch, Human Rights Watch, एक NGO है, civil society है, correct? Amnesty International, PUCL, Amnesty International. इसलिए न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा करो, ये सारी चीजें आती हैं आफ्टर एवरी वीक. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ रहे हो? मम्मी कसम पढ़ते हो कि नहीं? नॉट डेली. क्यों डेली क्यों नहीं पढ़ते हो? मतलब आता है घर में, फिर क्या करते हो उसका? आदत डालो ना. बिकॉज जिस टाइम आप खाना खा रहे हो, है ना, उसमें आप क्या करते हो? आप इंस्टाग्राम देखते हो. ठीक है, वो सब नहीं करना है. यू हैव टू आइदर वॉच एनी न्यूज, एनी डिबेट, करेक्ट, संसद टीवी में. तो यू हैव टू यूटिलाइज दैट टाइम और देन रीड द न्यूज़पेपर. और तो अपने साथ कैरी करो. अरे घर में पढ़ा कर क्या रहा है? द हिंदू है, घर वाले भी नहीं पढ़ते होंगे, बोरिंग पेपर है. ठीक है, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया तो कलरफुल फोटो आता है, तो एवरीवन इज गोइंग टू सी इट. सो just carry with you actually whenever you are getting time. For example, class starting after 5 minutes, within that time just read the some newspaper actually, because it is a habit. ऐसे नहीं आएगा. आप फोर्सफुली आप उसको नोट समझते हो ना कि किताब है रखी हुई है, एक दिन फिर से पढ़ लेंगे. नोट्स यू कैन रीड, बट न्यूज़पेपर इज कमिंग डेली, दैट इज न्यू. आप पिछले दिन का नहीं पढ़ पाए, आज का क्या पढ़ोगे? ठीक है, सो रीड इट एक्चुअली. नेक्स्ट इज इट हेल्प्स इन स्ट्रेंथनिंग transparency and accountability. It helps in strengthening transparency and accountability. For example, ADR, Association of Democratic Reform, help in strengthening transparency and accountability. Example is ADR, Association of Democratic Reform, or Transparency International, जो करप्शन का परसेप्शन इंडेक्स देता है ना, दैट एजेंसी.
No. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, ADR full form, 1 second, please.
Association of Democratic Reform.
Thank you, sir.
जो फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप सीन कि डिफरेंट जो पॉलिटिशियंस हैं, दे गो फॉर द इलेक्शन, so how much money they are having, what the affidavit they have filed, all the reports are given by ADR only. They give the report, for example, how many questions, उसमें होता है योर नेता, अपने नेता को जानना है, myneta.org समथिंग करके एक वेबसाइट है. सो क्या TI, ट्रांसपेरेंसी इंटरनेशनल. ये सब आपको मुंह जवानी याद आनी चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं है. अब एग्जाम्पल लिखोगे ना मेंस एग्जाम में, so these things you have to remember. Okay, they're very famous. I'm quoting only those which are very famous, even anyone can understand. Another important role of civil society is vigilant civil society ensure that government does not deviate from its promise. Vigilant civil society ensure that government does not deviate from its promise. Another important role is evaluating the impact of government policies. Evaluating the impact of government policies. Correct? Example is, for example, social audit. Social audit यही काम है. Next is, it is a training ground for the leader of future. बाद में वो नेता बन जाएगा. So it is a training ground for the leader of future. अपने एरिया में देखो, युवा नेता, छात्र युवा नेता से बड़ा नेता बन गया. So they are the future leader basically. Another important, they provide the technical support to the government. Next is, they provide the technical support to the government. जैसे for example CPR. CPR is Center for Policy Research. They provide various research report to the government. Center for Policy Research. Let's see CSE. Center for Science and Environment. Center for Science and Environment. Like FICCI. It is nothing but Federation of Indian Chambers. Federation of Indian Chambers of commerce and industry. फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडियन चैम्बर्स ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री. ऐसे एक और, अगर आप वेबसाइट आपने जरूर देखा हो इसका, IDS है, कभी गए हो वेबसाइट पे? If you are covering international relations or internal security, then you can get very good notes out of this website IDSA. It is Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. करेक्ट, इसका नाम अभी मनोहर पारिकर इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ डिफेंस हो गया है, इन द नेम ऑफ अर्लियर गुजरात गोवा CM as well as central minister Manohar Parrikar. Clear this? So these are the important role of the civil society. Done? Done नहीं मतलब break ले लो, then we will cover some other portions. So now if suppose example question is coming civil society related, last topic है civil society, then we will go to the NGO. Civil society's functional contribution to good governance. Civil society's contribution to good governance. Most of the things already have covered. So civil society is a watchdog for governments, correct? Agar any violation of human rights happened, any government deficiencies are there, then civil society will work there. It works as an advocate. That means जो weaker sections उनका point of view, if no one is going to hurt, then it is going to take care by the civil society. Sometimes they work as an agitator also. Okay, protesters basically. Sometimes they work as an educator, correct? Sometimes they work as a directly service provider, correct? That is function in the good governance. So we already covered these things earlier. Significant role of civil society. Same you can write, same actually. Then now comes to NGO. So NGO का constitutional basis हम लोग देखें, from where it is coming. So which article number will be better suited to the NGO? Yeah, article number. Yes. Yes, article number 19. Freedom to make associations, cooperatives. So which DPSP will come here? कौन सा DPSP fit बैठेगा यहाँ पे? One DPSP is also there. (43B) it was read by which amendment number? Yes. 92nd भी नहीं है. Yeah. 89. No. Which amendment number? 97th amendment. Yes. Correct. So these are two article numbers which are the basis of NGO. Article 19(1)(c) and Article 43(b). Even state list entry is also available here. State list entry number 32, cooperatives. Union list is also there. Union list entry number 10, trust, and entry number 28, charitable and religious endowment. Charitable trust and religious endowment. Clear this? Done. NGO भी आपका लगभग it is civil society only, same way it will work. Like example, it is also features of NGO अगर हम पढ़ें, it is also voluntary in nature. It is also voluntary in nature. It is governed by its own members. Governed by its own members. Ideally on democratic principles, basically. Ideally on democratic principles. NGO is also autonomous. From state and market. It's a legal entity. Like trust, cooperatives, trade union, because they are all registered, not for profit companies. Correct? ऐसा नहीं हो कि NGO is not registered. It will be a legal entity only. They also will be having its own written constitution. That means their guidelines, everything will be mentioned there. Aims and objectives. Definite aims and objectives. Correct? Ability to mobilize resources. Ability to mobilize resources. Well organized accounting system. Auditing system. Because NGOs का जो balance sheet is properly audit every year. Correct? So these are the important features of NGO. अब इसमें तो some NGOs are there. They will get finance from the state also, state funded. So what is the benefit of a state funded NGO? Next is Advantage of state funded NGO. Advantage of state funded NGO. So state funded NGO का what advantage will be there? First advantage is certainty of funds. Okay, you will not need to go to everywhere for asking this donation. You will get money directly from the government. So certainty of fund is first advantage you are having. You can write certainty of finance. First important advantage is certainty of finance. Certainty of finances. First advantage. Second is raising funds require lot of energy and time. Raising funds require lot of energy. Raising funds require lot of energy and raising funds require lot of energy and time. Correct? This is one. Another important benefit is it help in expanding their scope. It help in expanding their scope and outreach.
Sir, one second, will you tell it once again, sir?
Raising funds require a lot of energy and time.
Yes,
The next
sir.
is help in expanding their scope and outreach. Help in expanding the scope and outreach, because
Yes, sir.
government will going to help them in expanding their scope and outreach. Correct? Another benefit, regular NGO state interactions. Regular NGO state interactions. इससे फायदा ये होगा कि state will get lot of actually feedback from the NGO. NGO will provide lot of feedback in the sense like what the citizens actually want, what is the problems they are having. All these will get from the NGO, and the state will provide all the necessary machinery requirement for the development. And it will be a mutually beneficial exercise. Next, you can write it will be a mutually beneficial exercise. Mutually beneficial exercise. Now comes to role of NGO in development. Role of NGO in development. So first is mediatory role. Mediatory role means NGO is also work just like a civil society only, in between of family and state. So it work as a medium there, correct? Or not medium, the right term will be there, in between. What citizens want, it will be conveyed by the civil society only. It will be a mobilizing role. Correct? Mobilizing role. If we need to mobilize the resources, funds, people, that will be done by the NGO. Consultative role. Whenever governments want to bring any policy, governments need to consult with the people. If governments not able to consult with everyone, so government will going to consult with those NGOs who are working in that particular field. For example, if government is bringing an environment policy, so uske liye we are having a Center for Science and Environment NGO. So government consult with it then. Okay. Next is educational role. Correct? They actually, for example, work like an advocacy. They actually provide the information about the government schemes and programs that will going to benefit them. So they provide basically education. Supplementary role. Supplementary role. Supplementary role basically क्या है? Last mile connectivity. Wherever government is not available, like example, very remote rural areas like Chhattisgarh, like Jharkhand, or tribal areas जहाँ पे public officials say they are not able to reach there or they are unavailable. In that particular position, NGO will going to reach there. So last mile connectivity role. और जहाँ पे भी trust deficit with the state, कि they are not having trust with the state. So in that area also NGO will work. So they will work in two areas for last mile connectivity. And second is wherever trust deficit with the state. Here also NGO will work. Other role NGO will be having basically leadership role. Like I told you, they will going to provide the future leader. So they leadership role, innovation role. In rural areas with less fund, they provide various innovations. Another is enforcing accountability and transparency. So NGO, they enforce accountability and transparency. They represent the voice of informed dissent. They represents the voice of informed dissent. What is informed dissent? Basically, it simply means that, see, agar informed nahi ho, then you are protesting against every government policies. You do not know what benefit is going to happen, correct? फिर भी आप protest करो simply because that belongs to different political color. तो ये तो सही बात नहीं, because first you have to inform yourself. अब informed dissent means you know what you are going to trying to say it. Why you are opposing, you know that. So they are going to become the voice of those guys. Then now comes to problems in NGO. This is again important for mains exam. Problems or issues in NGO. Correct? Like example, when this Ayodhya temple, when it was not there, at the time most of the people, मतलब जो भी एक पढ़े लिखे समाज के लोग हैं, liberal लोग हैं जिनको बोलते हैं, they were trying to say it instead of everything कि whether there should be a masjid or mandir, there should be a hospital and a school. That was a very good idea actually, correct? We should have hospital or school उस place पे अच्छा रहेगा ना. But today if we actually consider an economic point of view, then which is more beneficial, which is going to add more value to the GDP? Temple, correct? टेम्पल क्या, क्योंकि अभी क्या था, अब तक हमने टेम्पल को इकोनॉमी से नहीं जोड़ा था. इवन ड्यूरिंग एंशियंट टाइम में भी टेम्पल क्या थे? टेम्पल दे वर इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू ओनली. जितने भी फॉर एग्जांपल राजा बड़ा है तो टेम्पल आल्सो विल बी बिग ओनली. और टेम्पल के आसपास वी यूज्ड टू हैव बाउंड्रीज आल्सो बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ मनी वाज आल्सो इनसाइड द टेम्पल्स. अभी भी सेम चीज हम लोग क्या करने लगे, टेम्पल्स दे आर बिकमिंग बेसिकली सेंटर ऑफ इकोनॉमी ओनली. अभी फॉर एग्जांपल अयोध्या, अगर अयोध्या वालों से पूछे जाके व्हाट यू वांट, अर्लियर वो उनमें भी बहुत लोग होंगे दे यूज्ड टू से यार इस झंझट से हटो, यहाँ पे हॉस्पिटल बना दो. बट आज उनसे पूछो जाके, अब बोलेंगे नहीं नहीं टेम्पल ही चाहिए, बिकॉज उनको पता है कि टेम्पल से सो मेनी पीपल्स विल गोइंग टू विजिट देयर, करेक्ट? दे विल गेट गुड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स, जो शॉप्स वहां पे रन होंगी, होटल्स होंगे, एवरीवन एक्चुअली दे आर गोइंग टू गेट बेनिफिट और नॉट. हॉस्पिटल बना लेते तो क्या एक्स्ट्रा कर लेते, क्योंकि एक जैसे हॉस्पिटल अदर एरिया में बन रहा है वहां पे भी बन जाता, but it is not going to get that much of value economic point of view, correct? But इससे क्या हो गया कि see because of that Ayodhya they ever thought that कि they will have soon airport, नहीं, करेक्ट, अयोध्या में एयरपोर्ट आ गया, ठीक है ना. They ever thought they will get to railway stations 6 to 7 or 10 Vande Bharat is going to run there, but now they are able to get all these things, correct. मतलब इकोनॉमी से सोचो, धर्म से मत सोचो, करेक्ट है ना, इकोनॉमी से इट इज गोइंग टू इम्प्रूव इट, करेक्ट. फॉर एग्जांपल केदारनाथ, इवन कभी ऐसा मतलब कि पॉलिटिकल लीडर दे आर सेइंग दैट यू शुड नॉट कम हियर, stop visiting, we will not able to handle it, correct. Like example, if you take Kashi, I told you Kashi, before this Kashi Vishwanath temple, it is a Jyotirling basically, correct. It was not that big temples because earlier actually only not more than 5 to 10,000 square feet area was there, and that's it. Other areas it was completely encroached by everyone. See, who's ever get opportunity, they never see any dharam or something ki they belongs to only Hindu or Muslim. Whoever is getting opportunity, they will grab the land. And right now, when it was redeveloped, they have received more than 7 crore visitors actually. Earlier it used to be a 20 million, that's it. But now 7 crore. So ultimately, city is going to benefit there. So now comes to the problems in NGO. So problems of NGO basically क्या होगा? First is problem NGO is deficiency of resources. So leader कौन होता है? Leader वही होता है when many people they are against you, still you are going and develop those things, correct, and then make people reverse their views. यही लीडर है ना. मैनेजर तो ये है कि whatever vision has been created, we need to implement that thing. That is the manager basically. लीडर दूर का सोचता है ना, इसलिए उसको रोमांटिक पर्सन बोलते हैं. Right? He is not a scientific man. He is a romantic man. Because romantic man poetry वाला नहीं. Romantic man means who can think actually for the future. एक ऐसे भी आया था ना, history is the series of victories of scientific men over romantic men. तो यही तो था, romantic man and scientific man. Even they have repeated this essay. Next year again. Last year there was one more person. Visionary dream, basically it is the intersections of intuitions and logic. Intuitions means basically आपकी बड़ी सोच, इसका कोई बेसिस नहीं है. जैसे आप बोल रहे हो कि मैं एक दिन मेरे पास 700 करोड़ रुपीस होंगे, लेकिन कोई बेसिस नहीं है, घर वाले भी नहीं मानेंगे कि कैसे होगा, लेकिन आपको लगता है कुछ तो कुछ होगा मेरे साथ ऐसा जो सिर्फ आपको पता है. यू आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्लेन टू एनीवन, करेक्ट. And then logic means when someone is thinking with logic and then going to approach and then becoming a 700 crore persons. When both meet together, then only visionary dream will come. अगर आप सोचोगे ही नहीं बड़ा, क्योंकि सोचने में तो पैसा लग नहीं रहा है, कम से कम सोच ही लो, करेक्ट है ना. That is the leader actually. ठीक है. हमारे गांव में कहावत होती है कि जब सोच रहे हो तो फिर एक फ्लोर का घर क्यों बना रहे हो? सोच रहे हो तो 8-10 फ्लोर तो जाओ कम से कम, पैसा तो लग नहीं रहा है ना. तो वो होता है सोच, बड़ी सोच रखना है ना. So that essay they asked one more year next year, and earlier था series of victories of scientific over romantic man. So romantic man is intuition and scientific man was logic. और स्टूडेंट बोलते हैं कि ऐसे रिपीट नहीं होता है, they have repeated next year only. अगर सेम आंसर आप लिख दो, सेम आंसर, you will get exact marks actually. बट ये है कि हम पहले ऐसे को नहीं पढ़े अच्छे से कि क्या मतलब है, सेकंड तो फिर समझ में ही नहीं आएगा, ठीक है. So they repeat essay also, they repeat mains also, they repeat prelims also. Prelims maybe around 25% question they are repeated only. 25%, मतलब out of 100 you are getting 25, means 50 marks you got or not? 50 marks. Cut off कितना? 88. Just you require 30 more. 15 questions we have to solve. उतना भी नहीं हो रहा है ना, because you are not solving previous year questions, correct. Only two best friends of UPSC is एक सिलेबस, एक प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, दैट्स इट. बाकी आप चाहे लाखों यूट्यूब फॉलो करो, कुछ भी करो, कोई फायदा नहीं है ना. यूपीएससी का पैटर्न समझना है ना. फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाटएवर क्वेश्चन टुडे दे हैव आस्क्ड, 4 ऑप्शंस दे हैव मेंशन्ड, वन ऑप्शन विल बी करेक्ट बट 3 विल बी इनकरेक्ट. बट जो 3 इनकरेक्ट हैं वो भी किसी ना किसी के तो करेक्ट आंसर्स होंगे कि नहीं, बस वहीं से वो क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. आपको फोकस करना है करेक्ट पे. थर्ड 3 आपने छोड़ दिए, जिससे हमें क्या मतलब है ना. और जो छोड़े हैं ना, यही कल आपके पीछे आएंगे, सबरी के बेन, है ना. सो दैट इज कर्मा. आपने उनको निगलेक्ट कर दिया, अब नेक्स्ट ईयर निगलेक्ट करके देखो उनको, then UPSC will neglect you. Even sometimes repeat कितने हो सकते हैं repeat, sometimes score goes to 35 questions out of 100 repeat हो गए थे, इतना सारा क्वेश्चन. हिस्ट्री से रिपीट है, ज्योग्राफी, इन्वायरमेंट, पॉलिटी, रिपीट हो रहा है क्वेश्चन. देन वी एक्चुअली ब्लेम टू होम, यूपीएससी पे. ठीक है, पेपर टफ बना दिया हो, टीचर पे है ना, सब पे, खुद पे कभी नहीं कि प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस हमको पढ़ने थे ना, वे आर नॉट कवर्ड. वही करना है और कुछ नहीं करना है आपको. लाख यूट्यूब वीडियो में जाके सब्सक्राइब बेल आइकॉन नहीं दबाना है ना, जो पट से दबा देते हो, पैसा नहीं लग रहा है. ठीक है, 40-50 टेलीग्राम चैनल ले लिए हैं ताकि वहाँ फ्री में सब नोट्स मिल जाए. कोई जरूरत नहीं है. वॉट एवर नोट्स यू आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम मी, दैट इज सफिशिएंट टू क्लियर द एग्जाम. सीरियसली, एग्जैक्टली सफिशिएंट है. और कोई और देगा, क्या गारंटी है कि यूपीएससी का वहां से है? कोई गारंटी नहीं है ना. सो ओनली थिंग इज वी नीड टू फोकस ऑन बेसिक्स, दैट्स इट. कोई यूपीएससी को गैस नहीं कर पाएगा सीरियसली. या फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर यूपीएससी को मैं चैलेंज करूँ, आई विल मेक द टेस्ट सीरीज, यू हैव टू गैस इट. कैन यूपीएससी गैस द क्वेश्चन? नहीं कर सकता है. तो हम कैसे कर सकते हैं गैस? करेक्ट है. वी आर डूइंग गैस ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन से, कि मुझे आदत दिख गई ना. 10 ईयर से क्वेश्चन देखे, अच्छा ये इस तरह का क्वेश्चन बहुत पूछते हैं, नेक्स्ट ईयर अगेन दे विल. लाइक एग्जांपल एनवायरनमेंट का, आई टोल्ड यू ना, if you have not gone through previous questions, what you are going to read is type of biodiversity, ये सब वही पढ़ोगे ना. and question they are asking from pollution part, from climate change, और वो आपके किसी भी नोट्स में ना लास्ट चैप्टर है. अब स्टार्ट कहाँ से करते हैं? फर्स्ट चैप्टर से. राइट. तो आप टाइप्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम पढ़ रहे हो, है ना, एक्वेटिक इकोसिस्टम, टेरेस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम, फिर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फॉरेस्ट, बट क्वेश्चन नहीं आ रहा है वहां से. क्वेश्चन कहीं और से आ रहा है ना, बिकॉज वी हैव नॉट गॉन थ्रू द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चंस. वहां से पढ़ना है. ठीक है. सो प्रॉब्लम्स इन एनजीओ, बेसिकली सबसे प्रॉब्लम्स डिफिशियंसी इन रिसोर्सेस. मेन प्रॉब्लम दे आर फेसिंग इज दे आर नॉट हैविंग unlimited resource. So deficiency in resource, because either they need to depend on the government or on the donations only. So deficiency in resource, this is the first challenge every NGO is facing. Second issue is uneven presence. Uneven presence. Uneven presence meaning क्या है कि some of the areas में lot of NGOs are there and other areas there is no NGO is there. Correct. Example, if you see, go to the urban areas, lot of NGOs are going to work, but वहां पे no one actually need them. And rural areas में hardly any NGOs are present. So uneven presence is there. Next problem is lack of coordination. Lack of coordination. So what is the problem here is lack of coordination. कि in one particular area for same work 10 to 20 NGOs are working, like 10 to 20 NGOs working for older citizens, but they are not coordinating with each other actually. So same are working for the same, all working are for the same older citizen. Correct. So this is, or they are not thinking I am tackling this particular area, you have to go through that particular area, so that every older citizen can be covered well, but no coordination is there. Next problem is limited outreach or network. Limited outreach or network. Limited outreach or network. Next is shortage of trained or dedicated workers. Shortage of dedicated or trained, जो skilled workers हैं. Shortage of skilled or dedicated workers. Correct?
Sir?
Yes. Trained or dedicated. Shortage of trained or dedicated workers. Dedicated workers because no one is there permanent employee. I told you in India problem is this, we go for the NGO work once in a while only. जैसे आपका कोई फ्रेंड है उसने कॉल किया, चलो एनजीओ में चलते हैं, आप इसलिए नहीं जा रहे हो आपको सेवा करनी है, आप इसलिए जा रहे हो क्योंकि आपको अच्छा लग रहा है ना, वो मैंने भी पब्लिक सर्विस किया सो दैट आई कैन ऐड इन सम रिज्यूमे में लिख दें, है ना, तो वो एक है, सीवी में ऐड करना है, अटैच मारना है ना, तो इसलिए आप जा रहे हो ना। सो डेडिकेटेड वर्कर्स नहीं है, बट फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू गो फॉर वंस, नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर वो एनजीओ फिर से आपको कॉल करे आ जाओ, आप दोबारा नहीं जाओगे, दोबारा यू वांट सम अदर एनजीओ, है ना, ताकि एक और नाम जोड़ ले सीवी में, है ना। नेक्स्ट इज state interference. State interference. Next problem is state interference. Well, most of them we have seen state interfere too much there regarding their fund, regarding whether we need to give legal sections to them or not. So state interference is also there. Next problem is corruption in NGO. Corruption in NGOs. Corruption in the sense we have seen people used to do crowdfunding. Correct. I have seen people they were doing crowdfunding like 50 to 1 crore rupees they have done. Like in COVID time, this was too much a scam actually. They used to do crowdfunding. After that, what they done? They have done a stock market investment there with that fund. और उसमें वो लिख भी दिया है कि because of this future and options में they went and then they lost the money. And then all the money gone. So this corruption in NGO. Correct? नेक्स्ट इज लाइक एग्जांपल बहुत सारे क्राउड फंडेड एनजीओ आर देयर, इसमें क्या देखा गया है फॉर एग्जांपल कि सम फोटो होगा बच्चे का किसी का एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स, जैसे देखोगे आपका इमोशंस आ जाएंगे ना, आप पैसे दे दोगे एंड देन दे पुट फॉर एग्जांपल डॉक्टर्स और हॉस्पिटल्स सम सर्टिफिकेट आल्सो कि दिस इज मनी इज रिक्वायर्ड। आप क्या करो जब आपको फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन यू गेट ऑल दीज थिंग्स, अगर आपका मन है कि आई वांट टू पे सम 10,000 5,000 500 रुपीज व्हाटएवर, उस हॉस्पिटल को सर्च करो जाके, जिस हॉस्पिटल ने लिस्ट बनाया ना कि व्हाट इज द गूगल रिव्यू ऑफ दैट हॉस्पिटल, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड। समटाइम्स आई हैव सीन कि गूगल उस हॉस्पिटल जब चेक किया लाइक 1 स्टार ओनली और अराउंड 300 रिव्यूज आर देयर, तो बाद में पता चला कि हॉस्पिटल इज नॉट देयर प्रॉपर्ली, जस्ट वन रूम इज देयर, समवन इज रजिस्टर्ड एज हॉस्पिटल एंड दैट हॉस्पिटल इज वर्किंग फॉर दैट वर्क ओनली, they have no machinery, nothing, so they are doing this scam. Correct? So this is also one of the cases. Human trafficking, yes, definitely. Correct? So this is corruption is going on in NGOs also. And see, for example, the way of actually demanding the money, like earlier they used to say like we are running in orphans or older citizens के लिए you have to donate if you want, आप पे नहीं करोगे, करेक्ट। वहीं पर अगर हम ये बोलते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज अ चाइल्ड एंड दिस चाइल्ड रिक्वायर ए वाइल्ड एक इंजेक्शन, अभी 6 PM तक चाहिए, इमरजेंसी क्रिएट कर दिया आपके दिमाग में, अब आपको लगेगा इसका कुछ हो गया है तो सारी जिम्मेदारी मेरे ऊपर आई है ना, नाउ यू विल पे 2,000 रुपीज और नॉट। सी उसको इतनी जरूरत है तो someone will first arrange the injections, not going to call you and you are unknown person completely, correct? So this is the cases, some they are doing wrong things actually in the name of this social service. So we need to donate the money by proper reviewing it actually. या तो कोई आपका जान पहचान का सबसे बड़ी मदद क्या होती है, if your near ones actually, anyone near ones, your friends family, if वहां से support मांगा जाए then definitely you have to do the support, because वहां पे chances are that fraud will not be there, correct? और आपका help भी हो जाएगा, correct or not? Otherwise you have to check back some reports, और पढ़े लिखो reports तो check कर ही सकते हो, and you can alert others also. Next is domination of elites in NGO. Domination of elites. Correct? आपने देखा होगा those who are running the NGOs, they are not small persons, all are big persons only, correct? And they are enjoying a luxury life. अगर आप देश की सेवा कर रहे हो on the money that you have received in donations, can you live the life of luxury? No. अब फिर वो क्या बोलता है, for example, कि I have left a good, if I need money then I already left as an investment banker job, है ना? अगर मुझे इतना ही पैसा की जरूरत थी then why should I left that job? Correct? Like example, one politician in from West Bengal with luxury bags, ठीक है? So that is the cases. They give this gimmick then, because I left already big investment banker job, I do not need this such luxury, so you should not accuse us for the luxury. Correct? But actually you are running, you have left the job definitely, but you are doing a service here on the money that you received in the donations. Definitely you are also having a family. We can understand that things, correct or not? You have your own life also. Definitely you cannot live that life, but still you cannot run a very luxurious life there, correct? So because of this domination of elite classes there. Another problem is accountability of NGO. Accountability of NGO. And next problem is government crackdown. Government's crackdown. We have seen now government is also interfering too much with the NGO, especially regarding foreign funding.
Sir, government?
Yes, government crackdown. Correct.
Okay.
So इसमें first important law is become FCRA Act. Correct. FCRA Act. Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Act हटा दो फिर इसमें. Already I have written FCRA 2010. Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. It basically regulates the foreign contribution or donations. It regulates foreign contribution or donations. This particular act. इससे पहले ओरिजिनल अपने पास था, दैट वाज FCRA 1976 था, दैट वाज ब्रॉट बाय इंदिरा गांधी. उस समय इंदिरा गांधी को लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम था ड्यूरिंग इमरजेंसी, जस्ट करेक्ट टाइम इंदिरा गांधी हैज डन क्रैक डाउन, और उसी के ऊपर धीरे धीरे एवरीवन इज डूइंग नाउ. एंड दिस 2010 इट वाज ब्रॉट नॉट बाय मोदी गवर्नमेंट, डन बाय कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट, करेक्ट. अब मोदी जी को भी चांस मिलेगा, he also will do in 2019. Act basically curb those donations which is detrimental to the national interest. तो इसका जो मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव है, कर्व और रेगुलेट द डोनेशन detrimental to national interest. Correct. And NGO which are not registered under this, which are not having license, they cannot receive any foreign fund. Understood this? So any organization who is not having a license under it, they cannot receive foreign funding. Any NGO which is not having a license they cannot receive foreign funds. One more thing, this is funding, so it should come under which ministry? Finance, financial transaction हो रहा है, but it is considered as internal security issue, so this has been put under Home Ministry, right? So it falls under the purview of Home Ministry as it is an internal security issue.
Sir, one more time, sir.
It falls under the purview of Home Ministry. It falls under the purview 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 of Home Ministry as it is an internal security legislation or issue. Internal security legislation. अब इसके salient features देखते हैं. What are the salient features of this particular act? First is salient features में है कि whatever purpose के लिए this fund you have received, like we have received this fund for environmental cause, then you have to spend that money for the environmental cause only. You cannot siphon that money for any other work. This is not possible. Correct? So first important is all the funds received by NGO, all the funds received by NGO must be used. All the funds received by NGO must be used for the purpose which they were received. करेक्ट, एक चीज हो गया. अब आपको फंड मिला, आप उसे फ्यूचर एंड ऑप्शन करने लगे स्टॉक मार्केट में, FNO. सो such funds cannot be used for speculative activities. Such funds cannot be used for speculative activities. Speculative activities basically just like stock market, gambling, betting. यहाँ सब में नहीं करना है आपको यूज. Right? Now, suppose example you got the license, but this license is not permanent in nature. Every 5 years you have to renew the license just like government. ये और issue है. So organizations are required to renew the license every 5 years. Organizations have to renew the license every 5 years. Correct? अब किसको लाइसेंस मिलेगा, मतलब which are those organizations? जैसा नहीं है today you have opened one NGO and you start getting foreign funding or you just get the license from under it. No. उसके लिए first important criteria is you need to be in existence for at least 3 years. So for registration criteria, the criteria are, or eligibility criteria for registration. Eligibility criteria for registration. उसके लिए क्राइटेरिया आएगा आपका. फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, बी इन एग्जिस्टेंस फॉर एटलीस्ट 3 years. बी इन एग्जिस्टेंस फॉर एटलीस्ट 3 years. कम से कम 3 years के लिए पहले होने चाहिए. Has undertaken reasonable activities in the given field. जिस भी फील्ड के लिए आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो, you have to do lot of work also in that field. Reasonable activity has been done in that given field also. Correct? अब 3 years से आप एग्जिस्टेंस में हो, कुछ पैसा भी तो खर्च करना है ना. So how much money you have already spent? Need to spend at least 10 lakh rupees over the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years. मतलब एटलीस्ट नीड टू स्पेंड 10 लाख रुपीज फॉर द लास्ट 3 years इन दोज एक्टिविटीज। ऐसा ना हो जब 10 रुपए खर्च किए आपको डॉलर चाहिए, ठीक है, एटलीस्ट 10 लाख तो लगेगा आप सीरियस कैंडिडेट हो। फॉरेन कंट्री जो कंट्रीब्यूशन दैट कैन नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड बाय फॉरेन कंट्रीब्यूशन, नेक्स्ट इज क्या लाइन है, फॉरेन कंट्रीब्यूशन कैन नॉट बी एक्सेप्टेड बाय, कौन कौन एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा? एक कैंडिडेट फॉर इलेक्शन, जो इलेक्शन लड़ रहा है, दैट कैंडिडेट कैन नॉट रिसीव ए फॉरेन फंडिंग, फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज पॉलिटिक्स में यूज नहीं करना है। मीडिया पर्सन लाइक कार्टूनिस्ट, जर्नलिस्ट, correspondent, printer, auditor, or editors, these guys cannot get any foreign funding because अगर उनको मिलेगा तो क्या होगा, वो क्या करेंगे? Like outside वाला they are giving money कि write something against government, write something against government policies, पैसा मिल गया लिख देंगे वो लोग। Next is judges, public servants, or employee of any corporation, they also cannot receive any foreign funding. Then member of any legislature, MLA or MP, they also cannot receive any foreign funding. Political party or office bearer, any person who is holding any office, political party, they also cannot get any foreign fundings. Political party or office bearer, correct? ये तो हो गया FCRA का। Now issue with FCRA, this is very important है, इसी में GS पेपर 2 में already UPSC is asked questions with FCRA। फर्स्ट इशू क्या है? Registration is a complicated exercise. Registration is a complicated exercise. क्यों आपकी complicated है? Because eligibility criteria है, and then you have to register where in Delhi only, with SBI bank also, और HDFC बैंक में नहीं, SBI में they are on lunch only. Registration ही नहीं हो पा रहा है आपका। Suppose example, someone is working in Tamil Nadu, they need to go to Delhi, so that is a complicated process. Second is 5-year renewal. 5-year renewal का issue क्या है कि suppose example you are working and somehow your ideology is not matching with the government ideology. Now government की नजर में आप आ गए हो ना, next elections will happen, government आ गई, and now your renewal is also there, they will not renew your license. So then क्या हुआ, last 2 years you have to change your heart and you have to speak something for the government. So because of this 5-year renewal problems. Funds cannot be used for political purpose. Third is funds cannot be used for political purpose. ये सही बात है, it should not be used. But sometimes क्या होता है कि they are speaking something good only, particular government policies which actually not in the public interest, and they start protesting, government will take it as a political purpose, then problem. इसके बाद not more than 20% of the fund, not more than 20% of the funds for administrative purpose. ये earlier था 50%, but now in 2020 में प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट है चेंज टू 20%. पहले ये था कि 50% से ज्यादा यू कैन नॉट एक्सपेंड यूज इन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव क्या होगा, बड़ा ऑफिस लेना, एसी लगवाना, बढ़िया सा मैकबुक लेना, ये सारी खर्च करने में. तो पहले मैंने बोला ये लोग यही करते थे ना. सो पहले ये था कि 50% ज्यादा यू कैन नॉट स्पेंड देयर. अभी गवर्नमेंट ने क्या कर दिया, प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट ने 2020 में 20% लगा दिया. Correct. Next is registration can be suspended any time. Registration can be suspended anytime. Registration can be suspended anytime. Correct. Then pervasive monitoring by IB. Next problem is इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो. इनका भी नजर रहता है इनके ऊपर. करेक्ट. तो दीज आर द वेरियस इश्यूज आर देयर. समटाइम्स क्या होता है कि दे हैव सस्पेंड द लाइसेंस, देन इट इज गोइंग टू टेक 1 year टू डिसाइड. अब 1 year में क्या होगा कि योर फंड कंप्लीटली जो है दे आर फ्रोजन नाउ, यू कैन नॉट यूटिलाइज देम. Those who are working with you, they also will leave. Actually they will work some other place. After 1 year अगर गवर्नमेंट ने ठीक है your license again renewed, but you already lost everything. So your NGO is already at the dying stage. So this is also problem of the government. Next issue is that is done. Can civil society replace the state or not? Then question is this: can civil society replace the state? Can civil society replace the state? Correct. ये क्वेश्चन है. सो यहाँ पे क्या है कि कोर फंक्शंस कैन नॉट बी आउटसोर्स एक्चुअली. करेक्ट. तो यहाँ पे नेक्स्ट आएगा कोर फंक्शंस कैन नॉट बी outsourced. Right? Core functions cannot be outsourced at all. Like civil society है, but civil society you cannot outsource these core functions. क्या होंगे core functions that civil society cannot handle at all? Defense, उसको रिप्लेस कर पाएगा क्या? Correct. Public order, external affairs. Correct. Example like defense, public order, external affairs. These core functions that cannot be handled by the civil society. Same is large societal problems. They cannot be handled by civil society. Large societal problems. ये कौन सी प्रॉब्लम्स है? Large societal problems also cannot be handled. For example, population growth issues, unemployment, yes, like Great Depression जैसा चीज cannot be handled by civil society. Communalism, correct? Casteism, these things cannot be handled by the civil society. Same. monetary or fiscal policy, that cannot be handled by civil society. Various industrial policies, five-year planning, that cannot be done by civil society. 5, 10 or 15 years of planning. And state is not simply for public service. State is having its own symbolic function. So civil society cannot do this. So symbolic function. Symbolic function simply rule of law. Correct? कि state है एक वहां पे, उससे बड़ा कोई नहीं है. Correct or not? So symbolic function is also there. That will be missing if state is not there. Clear? So this is last topic of this civil society. So civil society NGO done. अभी इसके बाद अगर कुछ बचा है, that is role of civil service in democracy. That part remain. Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hello. Thank you, sir.